Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel again. This is mainly for the members channel. It's for beginners and also for the intermediate level. So what we have here is a little sketch, a little photograph. You'll see I've got a cottage, some hills, a wall, etc. Now, I just get the impression that even something like this could be a bit too difficult for complete beginners. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning and talk you through this step by step to make it a lot easier. So firstly, we're going to try and make the sketch easier for you. So what I've done here, I've got the picture and I've got a piece of paper roughly the same size. It's about 7 3/4, just slightly bigger, and it's about 5 1/4, so it's not far away. So what I've done is I've divided this into, what I've done is I've measured that and put a line there, measured that and put a line there, same there, and I've drawn lines along and split it into quarters. Now I've done that on the photograph as well. It's not very dark. I'm just going to make that bolder for you so you can see it. So I've got a pen, a dark pen here, and I'm going to draw a line right along here, and I'm going to put one down there as well. So hopefully you'll be able to see that a lot clearer now. You might be wondering, so why do I need to do that? Right, well, we're going to try and make the sketch and using the quarters to help you. So this is worked out quite well. It was a bit of an accident, this, but I don't know if you've noticed that the end wall, the wall between the end and the face, is exactly in line with the vertical line, and it's about 1 inch up from the bottom. So I'm going to go up 1 inch and put a line up about there to about there. That's this bit, and I'm just going to go across a bit about there, about 1 1/4 inches, and put the other bit of the wall in and draw up a bit and start to join these up. Now you'll notice the point there is just above that halfway line, so probably about there. So I'm going to take that up to there, and I'm going to make that come down to there. So that's us got the first one in. That could probably be a little higher. That's better. Right, we just want to make sure we get it. Now that's one bit done. I'm going to just take that back about, measure this actually, just 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/4, about there. Let me draw a line for the end of the front of the building, and so that, now you'll notice that slopes down a touch. This is called perspective, so it's a completely different area that we'll cover later. Just don't worry about it just now. It's just that I don't want you to draw. That's pretty. Just want to make that as a slight angle going down the way. That's better, and I'm going to draw that up there, and that should meet in with that. So there we are, that's the start of the cottage, or the house. I'm going to put a chimney on it, and we'll put the door and that in later. Just give me an idea what it is just now. Right, so I'm going to make this painting a lot easier than this. Don't worry about all these walls and stonework and cliffs, etc. I might miss some of these out. Might put one wall in just to give it a bit of character. Forget about the rest. Right, this, you don't have to copy this exactly now. You can do what you want here. I'm quickly just going to put a layer in for some hills closer and some in the distance. And there's actually another bit of a chimney there, which is quite nice. And I'm going to put a bit in there and some bigger ones, and that'll do. Right, that's the sketch finished. Just before I get started on the painting, I'm going to rub out the lines that we drew in for the halfway line to help with the sketching. And here we are, that'll do. So that's you ready now to start. I'm going to leave that just now so you can have a look at the video. One or two people have just asked if I could pause so that you can grasp what you want to sketch. So hopefully that'll help you with the half and half, 4 quarters, and use it when you're making your sketch. Try and get the bits and figure out where they are in the quarters so you can transfer them to your own page. Okay, so we've got the sketch done. Now it's time to try and do the painting. Now I'm going to change this completely from this. This was really only used as a reference so we could get a nice cottage or a building in there. Regards the background, the hills, except the field here, I'm going to change that. I'm going to try and make it a lot easier so hopefully you can follow. So I'm just going to take it out a bit so you can see what's going on here. Okay, well I'm going to start at the top of the sky, and start off with some cobalt blue and put some clouds in. We'll see how it works out. Right, so some cobalt blue. Just go around to the palette. So some water in the palette and then some cobalt blue. Back round to the painting. So just going to drop some bits in there like so. Can we put 1 or 2 bits in about there? A couple of bits there. Right. So what I want you to do now is quickly just get some water, clear water, soften that off. What I mean by that is just get the brush and take off what we call the hard edges. That's a hard edge, that's soft edge. It just helps to get the clouds to merge in with the sky rather than left like that. That doesn't look right. So take your time, try this on a piece of scrap paper first, and there we go, that's not too bad. I'm just going to drop some more blue in just to fill some of the bits up. That'll do, that's fine. So there you go, that's your sky done. It didn't take long. I'm going to try and get this all done in 10 minutes. Short painting, right. What I'm going to do next is, you'll see the hills are covered in snow. I'm just going to make them appear distant hills. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm just going to use some of that blue and have a colour called alizarin crimson. I'm going to put some of that in, and it makes a nice soft purpley blue colour. And I'm going to put that in just now for these distant hills. So I'm going to do the back one, just about there. That will do. And I'm going to paint this one as well, suggesting it's away in the distance. I'm actually just going to put a bit there as well to help. Right, that's that finished. Now I'd like to paint these a sort of greenish colour, but I just need to wait till that dries. So I'm going to pop down and do the building. So I need to get a stony colour, and I'm going to use some yellow ochre and a bit of Payne's grey, and there we are. It dulls it down a bit to a stone colour. Now I'm going to suggest, or not recommend, the sunlight or any lights coming from the right, so this will be lighter than this. So I'm going to start off with a lighter colour. That's okay. Just going to paint that in. Now what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more grey to that colour to darken it down a bit, and I'm going to make the end of the building slightly darker. That's too much grey. Right, there we are, it's not too bad. Right. Right. Don't worry about that little bit there, I can just dab that out. Right, that'll dry quite nicely, that's okay. Now I might be able to go and paint this now. Hopefully this will be dry. So I'm going to make it, it is in the painting, in the photograph, so it's a browny colour. I might just stick with some of that, we'll see. Right, so I'm going to use some burnt umber, a brown. Just going to put it in there. Add a little bit yellow ochre. And we'll see what develops when I put this in. Right, let's go for it. Just going to get another brush just now and put some yellow ochre on its own in there just to brighten it up a bit. So there we are, I'm just going to leave that. Right. So I'm going to go straight over to the other side and put it in here, down the roof area and down here. That's dry, so it looks okay. I can dive in here. I'm not bothering about any walls or fences or anything. I just want to let you to have a shot at this just now. Now, what I'm going to do is put some green in here just to give it some more colour. So what I'm going to do is put some ultramarine, yellow ochre. I'm going to add a bit of that Windsor blue colour. I'm going to make that a kind of dirty green. Dirty green, do you get that in a tube? And what I'm going to do is just drop some bits in there, just to give it a bit of texture. Some bits there. Now this is still wet. The paper's wet, so you can put this in and you'll get super soft effect. You see how that's kind of broken that up. Right, that'll do for that. Bring that down a touch, make that wall smaller. Right, that's fine. Finished for that. What I'm going to do next is the roof. And I've mixed up some grey, some Payne's grey here. What I'm going to do is add just a little bit of yellow ochre to take that. I feel grey on its own is too severe. That's better. Right, let me swing round to the paint the roof in. So let's start about here. I'm painting across the way, you'll notice, and I'm leaving some white bits. Quite like that, rather than just go and fill it all in. Right, that's the roof. That should be dry, okay. Now, I'm quickly just going to paint that wall on the left hand side in. Just want to get a nice lightish colour in there. The light's coming this way, remember. So I just want to put something in like so. And what I'm going to do, just quickly, I come down here, I'm going to put a path coming out there, just to give the foreground a bit of character. What I'm going to do now is mix up a green, some yellow ochre, no, sorry, cadmium yellow. This time I want it nice and bright. Cadmium yellow and a bit of Windsor blue, my old favourite. And I'm going to drop that in, fill in both sides of the path, and then that will do. So big brush, just fill it all in. Just going to leave the path just now. I'll paint that in a minute. So hopefully this is helping you a bit. You'll see it's completely different from the photograph. I don't want to try and copy it, I just want you to be able to produce something similar to this and get you started in watercolour painting. Right, that's not too bad, that'll do. Now I need to put some sort of colour into the path. I'll make it, I've just got a bit of that grey that I had left over for the roof. There we are, that'll do. Right, that's what we call the blocking in stage finished. Okay, so now we come to the exciting part, putting in the detail. So I'm going to start on the cottage, try and get that all done, and then we can move on to the rest. Okay, so I'm going to mix up some dark Payne's grey, a little bit of brown. I'm going to start putting in some of the details. Right, I'm going to put the edge of the side of the roof, same down here, just to suggest the tiles. Bit along here for the roof. It's okay. Just put a little bit in for the chimney. Put one in there as well. Right. So there's one window in here. The windows, I'm just, as you'll see, making this fairly straightforward. And a taller window there. And I believe the door, it's red. Now, what I'm going to do is just put one or two single lines along here to suggest slates on the roof, and then put one or two in, just one or two. You don't want to paint it all in, it would look too stiff. Right, there we are, that's okay. Now I want to add some stones on the building, so I'm going to put one or just random just to suggest this will be quite good. I'm going to put one or two colours, yellow ochre colours, just to break it up. They're not all the same. Don't fill it all in. It'll, again, as I say, it'll just look odd. Just pick one or two. That's quite nice. Right, same across here. I'm just going to put some random stones in. Tidy that up in a minute. So you can see it's starting to take shape now. I'm going to make the door a browny colour. There we are. Now, just a little bit of texture on the background here. Right. Right, it's a little bit of a wall thing sticking out there. This is where you can just feel free to do your own thing here. I'm just going to put some bits and pieces like so, just suggesting it's coming down a bit of a shape. And put one or two lines around there to give it a bit more detail. Right, going to try and give the path a bit of a outline, just to let you know where it is. See, I'm just actually using the background of that colour to paint some shapes of stones. And we're just about there, and I'll just show you another little trick. I want some green again. Let's Make it a little bit dirtier. There we go. Darker. Right, what I want to do is put a little bit of mound. And what you do is you do that, and another one there. I'm going to put one here and one there. Now what you have to do quickly is soften off the bottom. Get water and just drag it about. Drag it in there to loosen off that edge that you had. You want to keep the edge on the top for a little mound. And I'll show you what you do. Get your rigger brush out. Just use a bit of the green you've got there. And paint some little tufty bits sticking out. Just one or two bits. Just want to make sure you can, I'm going to zoom in a touch so you can see this. And yeah, just bits coming out the top, just to suggest tufts of grass. There we are, and that will do. Right. I'll zoom out again just to let you see the finished article. And there we are. I think that should do you. So here's the finished painting beside the photograph, and you can see it's completely different. And all it was really meant to do was just to give you a guide to get started. So I've changed it completely, but hopefully it'll be a lot easier for you. Still got a bit of depth in it. We've got the lighter coloured hills coming forward into the foreground and the greens, so why not have a go at this? So first stages, I would suggest just take your time, make the lines on the photograph, and then make the lines on your sheet of paper. Take your time and make the sketch. Once you get the house, the cottage done, the rest pretty straightforward. And you see how I did that, working from back to front. I got the sky in quite nicely there, these purpley hills, and this brownish area here, coming forward to the greenery in the foreground. So hopefully you can have a go at that. I've purposely tried to keep it simple, so that beginners can have a go at completing a painting. Just before the video finishes, I'd just like to let you know that I also have a painting book and some colouring books that are available. This is Landscape Paintings of Scotland, which is a colouring book, 20 of my paintings. This is a general landscape colouring book with, again, 20 of my paintings. And the inside looks like this. There's a full colour image of the painting and a sketch below. So you can start to paint, use crayons or pencils to colour in using the image as a reference. This is my Watercolour Scotland tuition book. It's 60 pages, some bits about materials, paper, brushes, paints, then it goes on to techniques, and then some step-by-step paintings for you. I've also started a membership channel for beginners and intermediate levels, where you get exclusive videos which are not available on the general channel. So if you're interested, you'll see the members, my email address is there, you can get in touch. Okay, thanks for watching and stay safe.